Welcome back to Twin Flame Update. Yes, we cover these weekly, and the next edition will be out in the members tonight. So as we do look at these energy updates, bear in mind we do have Discord and other platforms on YouTube that can actually directly support you. Now, we are looking into the energy of divine feminine and have got some close-up views for the crowning energy. This week in the mix, we've got our clarifiers ready. There is this energy, especially with Mercury shadow direct. Very much Venus is going through this energy rebirth, and there is this spiritual energy where our perception to do with ourselves, where we see our going, there's a lot of healing, and it is to do with high heart chakra healing. We also can have this transformation we're physically going through, and especially in the way we perceive our future moving forward. I'm looking at the third eye here. I'm looking at the fact that this individual is cloaked. They're looking at things and they're feeling as though they need to be quite grounded in their approach. And there can be some physical things. This can be to do with home, to do with family, to do with getting out there, and some ways of doing things. And a very Jupiter-like energy is going to be transforming and changing. Now, as we do a look to the overall energy, where we are looking to the past, this could be to do with communication, maybe not saying things that we needed to say, unfinished business. There also could have been a thought process really to do with the fact that during Mercury retrograde, things really weren't going according to plan. And you may have spent the last 2 weeks really trying to iron those creases out in your life. And some of those things could have been deeply frustrating. I'm hearing the term no peace for the wicked, although, the sacrifices you've made are taking you to that. You also could be looking at your perspective in the way you communicate. So it could be, hey, do I say less? Do I say more? How do I go about dealing with these things? You also could be very, very spiritually confused as we do move through this week, as Jupiter ingresses into the house of Gemini. And this is because it can be an overload of information. And we do need to be really wary as we're having this transition from Taurus into Gemini. That divine feminine actually has a little bit of a break psychologically. This can be getting grounded, especially if you feel there's too much information, too much psychic downloads. It could be a time where you pause, and that way you can actually think about, okay, how am I going to deal with these things? And I just get this really strong feeling to do with unfinished business and communication. And there is a distinct possibility communication can really be popping off everywhere. In the heart of it, the moon phases are really upgrading you at this point in time. We've got moonlight goddess here. And around these times, we can find that through the ebbs and flows of the moon phases, our emotions can fluctuate. Things that are hidden are coming up, and that's especially because we're in that frequency of Pluto retrograde. However, it's still not completely in its complete retrograde cycle. It's quite gradual in the way it plays out. You can be trying to understand a lot of circumstances that are going on in your heart space, and gradually you may find that these things are coming up. You really are looking at the future and thinking, okay, how do I heal this? When is this healing going to be over? Is this connection between me and counterpart, or me and the energies I'm currently dealing with, resolvable? You also may need to look after your body a lot more during this time. We've got Alchemist. It's in reverse. So to a degree, you could be spiritually feeling as though you're not quite sure what to manifest right now. You're not quite sure what you want to move into. For some of you, that's not to say that's the case, but there can be a pocket group of you that are feeling maybe some sense of power and alchemy is out of your control. Some of you could be actually doing this on purpose. It could be because you feel the timing with certain situations and certain subject matters aren't quite ripe yet, but we will go into clarifying that. Any purging that you have been through, especially if you're feeling, gee, I just keep getting this undertone of, is it ever going to get any better? Jewel within a teardrop. There are always distinct benefits we get, through both good and hard times. Spiritually, you can feel that you're really trying to put this kind of hard facade on the outside and, get things done. And that's where, spiritually you can find that within relationships, you could be looking at them in a very, very different light at this point in time. Spiritual and emotional reconnection. I feel that you're coming home to yourself. I feel you're trying to get into that grounded space. I feel through the waves of healing, it is making you lighter, but your perception of what you are looking for in a relationship, I see this woman to be extremely determined on this card. And it's a kindness to do with the emotion that the person has towards themselves. And then we can exhibit that to others around us. And I think there might have been a protective shell around you at some point, and you've kind of gone through that purgatory experience, and now you're looking at it very, very determined. I would say keeping your boundaries up, but also treading carefully, but being open to knowing exactly what you do and don't want. Now, this past position, we're going to dig a bit deeper into this, because it has some additional messages for us, I believe. For some of you could have, especially if you did get messages coming through, there could have been a pause and a delay. There might have been a message come through. You might have thought about sending a message, but in some shape or form, the communication, it feels like there's been a pause in the status quo, a pause. This could have been on your side or theirs. You could have been quite busy. That could have been the reason why. Also, I just keep getting, I'm hearing the song Ring a Ring a Rosie. So it could have been that you're unwell. It also could have been that you feel that things are going around in circles and you want to do something different. You want a different outcome. You could also be very wary of a similar outcome. Okay, what is the advice for Divine Feminine in the context of the past, please? Yeah, I feel you're turning over a new leaf. I feel you're trying to do things different, and they're also complimenting you on those of you that are doing that and you're trying to do things differently. It's almost going to go in your favor. Okay, you can have some surprises, I would say, this week, and these surprises can be heart in nature. This could be in the way that Divine Masculine reacts or a new circumstance that plays out, and especially surrounding heart energy. I feel that there's going to be some radical surprises. Okay, what is the subject matter to do with alchemy? Okay, for some of you feel you've been working very hard, either physically, spiritually, or other. And you feel as though you'd really like to have that time to, feel valued, to care for yourself, but also to be valued by another person. Some of you also intuitively may have been picking up on feelings that DM has been having. There is a commitment here. They're not questioning the factor that you have a commitment to this energy. It's just a deep, lingering frustration. Yeah, your values are changing. Your value towards yourself is changing. The way you perceive yourself and the strength sense is changing. And the goddess of creation, I'm seeing to be quite a positive thing. Oh, goodness. Okay. They're making reference to the fact that, it's generally when we get our lives full 180 and we do get ourselves together, the weariness for some divine feminines could be, what if I get myself to my goals and where I want to be? And then this individual, comes in some shape or form. There is some communication coming. Particular zodiac signs that could have this could be Aries, Libra, Gemini, Sagittarius, Aquarius and Leo, Pisces and Virgo, I'm seeing. That's not to say it won't connect simultaneously. Okay, there's a change. There's definitely a change coming. A change in your approach, a change in what you're needing. You're not going into it like the Devil card in Tarot. You're not looking at the future in that same fashion. I feel that there also needs to be some, it's almost like for some of you, you could feel there needs to be a men's hair. I just keep hearing wanting the truth, wanting to get to the bottom of a situation. Something's not over. I'm looking here at Divine Feminine. This person's very tempted by you. Very tempted. For some of you, it could be that you're going into some fitness or changing, but you're also wanting this person to be attracted to your heart. And I do feel they really are, but I do feel there's a protection energy. This person's very tempted. You may be tempted to do something in a particular manner. There could be a bright idea, but they're saying, especially when you're looking to the purification of water, you're wanting this deep emotional connection, and you know the truth of something. You feel something's hidden. This could be advice even. This could also be a tactical approach Divine Feminine's taking in order to get to where she needs to get. Really using her wits, really using her aura, but at the same time knowing full well what they are actually going to require, especially from the first row here. We're looking at the fact that you have been through a lot, that, you know, you are in the midst of alchemizing things and manifesting things, and you're saying less, and you're putting your actions, you're turning into this guru energy, but you're definitely mapping your out out in a very different fashion. And I can see the infinity. It's almost like it's in your DNA. It's in your DNA to have this transformation. You're going through a transformative frequency. This person's very, very attracted to you. This could be something that you are aware of, but you also, from a spiritual sense, you're like, hold up. We need to get to the emotion of this. So I want to see, if I'm going to create with you, are you going to evolve? Are you going to show me something different here? That's what I'm ready for. Now, did you see anything we didn't see? I'd love to hear your feedback. And if you do have advice for any of the collective of the energy that we have mentioned in here or other, feel free to share with the community. I'll see you next week for the new updates and the new content ready to come.